What's up, all my little beanie weenies, and welcome back to another episode of The Sims 4 Love Island, hosted by me, Hot Dogs. And when we last left off, it's been a crazy week with the whole introduction of Casa Amor, and we spent most of the episode last Wednesday at the original villa, where all of the original girls went on dates with new boys to see what kind of went along, like who was gonna get together. It was pretty crazy, a lot happened, but this week we're gonna spend a lot of the time at Casa Amor finally. So we're gonna see what our OG boys are up to, and we're gonna send them all on dates as well. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did in the last episode. So we're gonna go and send all the boys on individual dates. The first individual date is going to be between Joffrey and Allison. So they're getting ready right now to go on their date. The other two boys will go on an individual date, and then our little crybaby new girl, Dawn, she's gonna go on a group date with all of the boys. So we'll see how that goes later. But first, let's check out Joffrey and Allison, and we're gonna send them out onto the streets of Brindleton Bay and just see what they get into, see what fun they have. Hopefully they hit it off. Now, Joffrey is in a relationship with Vivian back in the villa, and their date was a big surprise. I didn't think when they went on a date that it would go that well, and it took off. They got a whole new relationship from it, and it went really strong. So the same thing could happen now with Allison. We'll just have to wait and find out. Alright, so they stopped by the cute little playground that's down by the port, and they have like a nice little water balloon fight, except that the water balloon fights don't actually work. I don't know if that's just my game, but like they'll throw it like once and then it's the end of the fight. Like they never actually do anything. I feel like it's kind of like the ball pit situation where it's like, what's going on here? It's just full of glitches. Nothing really works. It's a cute idea. I really like the idea of like having kid stuff in the game since there isn't that much of it. And I like that adults can interact with it obviously, but it was kind of a fail. I thought it would be a cute little like time for them to get nice and wet and have fun, but nothing came from it. So we did have to swiftly move along from that. So I decided to take them to the yacht club and see if they could have a better date there than Vivian and Braylon had in the last episode. So of course they go straight to the bar, which is exactly what Vivian and Braylon did, which I completely get. So they go and they get smashed immediately. And there's kind of a lot more to do there this time. I mean, they have someone inside playing an instrument where they can go and watch music. They're able to watch music together, get drunk. And it does seem like this date is probably going to go well. I'm excited.
Biru Skansas, Stumpsy Turip, Grenea Hisla. Kisapay Moy Beam, Simona Saro. Yeftime Abasani. Oh, Lempima.
I really like that they have matching floral shirts on. They have like the same kind of style. I feel like they'd have the same kind of sense of humor. To me, personally, I think they would make a much better couple than him and Vivian. But of course, it's not really up to me. It's not what my opinion is. It's how well they hit it off and how far they are able to build their relationship. It's all about how big their meter is. I don't even know the correct way to describe that. Yeah, if they have a really strong relationship, then that's what's going to determine. In tonight's recoupling, okay? So after all the dates go down tonight, they all will be reunited, and we will have a full recoupling between the villa and the casa, and all of them are going to be reunited and smushed back together in one house. It's going to be huge and crazy. But I don't know, I see Allison and Joffrey hitting it off. I mean, they're able to hug each other. They're able to like really like hang out and get to know each other and listen to music while they go inside for a bit. And it's like kind of romantic. I mean, there's something weirdly romantic about a yacht club or a country club. but also not at all. And I think the wine or booze, whatever they were drinking earlier, has finally hit them because Allison goes outside and starts skinny dipping, and soon Joffrey joins in, and they're both just skinny dipping in broad daylight in front of everyone, splashing each other, having fun, joking around. And just in front of everyone. They just do not care at this point. They're really feeling it. And I think I would consider this date a success. If I went skinny dipping in public with someone, got drunk and did that, I would leave thinking that date was a success to me, personally.
Snoosh, snoosh.
Boodaba.
Oh, Venusa. Lara.
Hey.
And maybe it's just me, I don't know. I mean, I have been to a few nudist hot springs a couple of times. I mean, there's nothing sexier than a naked hot dog boiling in some water. But I don't go streaking or skinny dipping that often, but I love making my Sims do it. Like, whenever I get the college expansion packs and you can, like, make your Sim streak around campus, I think it's so fun. I always do that. Would I do it in real life? Probably. But it's a lot funner to make my Sims do it as well.
Strum, strum, garsha, garsha, laga.
Shooby wow.
So the two of them are definitely hitting it off. This show has turned from Love Island into like Naked Attraction or something, like dating naked. There's like having like a nice conversation in front of everyone. I love watching how townies react to your Sim when they're naked in public. Like this old guy is just like casually trying to join in on the conversation and then gets rejected and walks away awkwardly. Like, I love those interactions. Townies are the best. I always see people complaining about like, oh, like ugly townies. I love them. I love a good crazy townie. Like, I don't know. They're good. But they're really hitting it off. They're flirting. I think they're loving each other's bodies. They're like, all the flirts are going successful. And then eventually they do share their first kiss as well. I think this date is going great. And to top it all off, this date ends in a nice happy ending. They just go off to the side, like, porch area. Still in public, still everyone's able to see them outside the building. They can easily walk in. But the two of them decide to woohoo on the couch in the public. Honestly, the sunset behind them is beautiful. It really is a nice place to woohoo. I bet it was good. Like, this looks good to me. This date was a success to me. Like, I would leave this date walking like the Sims do when they, like, just woohooed. Do they even do that in The Sims 4, or is that just a Sims 3 thing? I don't know. I am going to play other Sims games eventually on this. I'm going to, like, do as many series on The Sims 4 as I can. And then I'm definitely going to bring up The Sims 3 because I miss a lot of the stuff on that game. But, so yeah, this Joffrey and Allison date was a complete success. So that's pretty good. We can move on to our next date. And that one is going to be between Gwen and Cole.
Nermal Krenkus.
Yips.
Noxa. Balco? Balconaro.
Sawada, baby. Moochie Peachy.
So I sent the two of them to the dog park in Brindleton Bay. I just thought it was a new area that we haven't really been to that often. I really do like the statue and stuff they have there. But this is a time where I guess I can complain about townies because they keep interrupting the date. I was like, let me make them play chess together. Let me see how their minds work together, you know. I think sometimes a board game or something like that is really good to play with someone. It really, like, shows you how they are. when it comes to those kind of situations, if they're able to be fair and stuff like that. But all the townies kept coming around and just like getting in on the conversation. They don't know how to get out of it. And Gwen just like wasn't feeling it. And so I was like, okay, let's like move along after this. Like, let's see what else they can do. But there's just like no real chemistry between the two, which was surprising. Like, I thought there really would be, because I personally like, I think Cole is a really likable sim, and I've liked him with a few of the people he's been with. Like, I was pretty surprised when he dumped, Parker. When he dumped Parker, I was, like, pretty surprised, and, like, I didn't like him with Alana at all. So I was kind of hoping that him and Gwen would work out. I think they're a really cute couple, but there's just, like, no chemistry. So I, like, moved them along. I tried to get them to have something to eat, sit, and, like, kind of get to know each other a bit more, but the conversation just, like, wasn't going anywhere.
Hey. Roll.
Tava?
Spobani. Sminchi. Shaspris Bafulosh. Sibu. Bretino. Friffa.
So yeah, pretty quickly the conversation goes downhill. They just start debating each other. They just start arguing with each other. And it's not going very well. Like, instead of gaining relationship, it's just going, like, further and further down. I think this is, like, one of the worst dates we've seen. I don't know if just, like, bad conversation was coming up. Maybe they were talking about politics or something that you're not supposed to talk about on a date. Me, personally, I enjoy talking about those kind of things on a date. You're supposed to get to know the other person. And differences don't make me dislike someone. So I'm personally into those kind of dates. And I can't really think of bad dates that I've really been on. I feel like I've been on all pretty good dates. Like, the only bad dates I can think of are ones where, like, they thought we were gonna hook up and we didn't. That's about it, though. I don't know. Have you guys been on bad dates? Let me know down below what your worst date is. This one did not go well. I mean, eventually Gwen just gets up and leaves. She just gets up and is done with it completely. And the date was just a complete bust, which isn't looking good. Unless Gwen can, like, get going with like any of the other two boys, she will be leaving tonight. So it's not a good thing that the date did not go well for her. Cole still has a chance if someone back in the villa still wants him. He doesn't mean that he's going to go home at all. But if Gwen doesn't find love in this group date coming up or something, then yeah, she's going to be in trouble tonight. So this was not a good date at all. Let me know your bad date stories below, because I really love to hear that kind of stuff. I am actually pretty interested, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the next date. Alright, so as the two of them return to Casa Amor, we get ready to depart on our last individual date, and this one is going to be between our boy Garrison and the single potential lady, Ava. So let's see how Garrison Ava's date goes. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to send them to the Willow Creek Park, I think. It's really romantic. I love that it's more so like a wedding venue, and that's always kind of a fun date to send people on. It gets your brain thinking. It gets you like really analyzing your partners. We're going to send them there, and we're going to see if this date goes well. I don't really know. Garrison can be pretty moody, so it really depends on what kind of mood he's in. And we haven't really seen Ava connect too well with anyone, so we'll have to wait and find out. So I made them go roller skating together. I think that's a really fun activity. It's really bright, it's really sunny, it looks really fun. Me personally, I would find this to be the worst date ever. So I'm 25 years old. I don't know how to roller skate. I don't know how to ice skate. Mainly because when I was younger, I went skating with my older sister. And I wasn't skating at the time. I was still standing off of the rink. And I was making eye contact with her. And she was like skating over to me. And this guy like got really close to her. She ended up tripping over him. He fell, she fell as well. And I was like watching her, like we were looking at each other, and she fell and her arm just went and she broke her arm. went to the hospital. I remember coming home, seeing her in a cast, and just like sobbing. I was like 5 or 6. That being said, I never learned how to skate. Like, even in high school, we would go on field trips to the skating rink or to the bowling alley or something. I wasn't that good at bowling, and I would just walk around the rink, like on the outside. I refused to skate. Skating is just not my thing. My boyfriend always wants to take me on like dates to like an ice skating rink, and that's even scarier to me. Like, you're not on wheels, you're just sitting on blades. Like, what if I fell and someone like skated over my fingers and cut my fingers off? Like, I am not into that. I think it'd be the worst date ever. However, I do think it looks cute. Like, I think the idea of it's cute. Me personally doing it, no thank you. I would much rather fish, that's for sure. So afterwards, I did send them fishing. And I've never even fished before either. Like, I've never fished in my life, and I feel like I would much rather do that. And it seems so boring than me breaking my legs. Like, I would rather be on a really boring date than breaking a bone. But that's just me, I guess. I don't know.
Sabaw!
Kafaya?
Shuska.
Schmidt.
Haha, Novi!
So after that, they end up chatting and go over to the picnic area, and Garrison decides to grill them up some hamburgers, I think, or tofu burgers or something, I'm not too sure, and they start flirting. I personally love when a guy cooks for me. My boyfriend cooks for me occasionally, pretty frequently, I guess, and even when he messes it up, like even if he burns it completely. I know one time he was making me chicken, like in the early years of us dating, and the top of the pepper came off, and like tons of pepper just like got all over the chicken. He like couldn't really dust it off. It was like black in pepper, and I still ate all of it. Like, I'm like just so thankful for him giving me food and like putting like, you know, like going through with the effort of doing it. And I just find it like a really nice gesture that I will eat all of the horrible food you give me. Like, if you give me a plate of disgusting food, I'll eat it and be like, that was so good, thank you. Like, I would do that. So I get why Ava's kind of like getting more flirty as the date goes on. I mean, she gets to see him be manly fishing. They get to have fun roller skating, which I guess is fun to people. She gets to see him cook. Hopefully the food was actually good though. So I think this date's going good. It's going a lot better than the last date. I keep just having to like cut my clips early of me talking or like ending myself short because I want to end everything in "that's for sure," and it's so annoying. Like, I never say that ever except for when I'm making these videos, and I want to end everything in that. Like, I need to either stop saying it or make it merch, like either or, because it's really annoying. Like, that's for sure. It's so annoying. And someone even commented on one of my videos saying that it reminded them of some like comedian sketch where he talks about like if you were having sex, instead of saying yes, you said, ooh, for sure, for sure. And it was really embarrassing almost. Like, I don't do that, but you guys would think I would because of how many times I say it. It's just like, can I not think of any other words? I don't know. Eventually, though, back to this. Eventually, Garrison and Ava leave the picnic area. Garrison brings the food with him, and they're flirting. They're getting along on the nature trails, and it's actually really weird. Like, as soon as this smelly lady walks by, that's like when they decide to have their first kiss. I'm like, perfect timing. I love that she came and ruined that shot for me. Townies are the best. What can I say?
Sure.
And after that, they decide to lay in the most likely wet grass to look at the stars and think about the potential of them together. And I'm going to end that date there. I think that date was really good. It ends up being a successful date. I don't know if it was the best one. Which one do you think was the best? Do you think it was Garrison and Ava? Or do you think it was Joffrey and Allison? Let me know below. I love hearing your comments. I love communicating with you guys, and I love getting the feedback and your thoughts on the episode. I'm a really lonely wiener, so let me know. and I send these two back to Casa Amor, and we're going to see how their night progresses. As you can see, everyone else is kind of heading to bed, and I think they're both just really in the mood, in the spirit of things, and they decide to woohoo. So Garrison and Ava made this date officially great, as well as Joffrey and Allison, by ending it a nice, hot, steamy woohoo session. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead. We're going to fast forward to the next day. And we're still going to stick with the Casa Amor group because it's time for our little crybaby new girl, Dawn. It's time for her group date with all the boys. She's the only single one technically in Casa Amor, so she's going to get a group date. And hopefully it goes well. We're not going to send her anywhere unique or special. I actually, in Casa Amor, I put all these little cute date spots. So I just sent them up to a rooftop. And we're going to see if they will all get along, see who gets along the most with Dawn. Maybe sparks will fly, and maybe she'll be able to walk out of this date with a new romance. Who knows? If she doesn't, it's most likely going to be her as well going home tonight. So it's really important that she does make those connections now.
Yanabi. Spinay. Hoger Beret. Oh, Yabahorn. Dava Boondle.
And it's going along okay so far. Nothing really great. I felt like Dawn is so high maintenance. I mean, she entered the house crying, wasn't happy about anything, and I can't really see her getting along that well with any of the guys. But it's surprising because they do get along well with Alana, who in my head would be high maintenance. But compared to Dawn, she is not at all. I think Dawn's beautiful, but I don't see it going well with any of these people. And soon the tensions do start building for like no reason. I don't know if it's because they're hot outside, and I hate that like there's only like such a small selection of clothes that doesn't affect them when it's hot. But so yeah, they all start getting hot. They all start getting really agitated really quick, and the date just kind of starts going down like south really quick. It's not going well, which I mean, I guess I'm not super surprised. I didn't think Dawn would be someone that would have an amazing date with someone, but I thought it would go better than this. They eventually just start like all slowly leaving, and Garrison and Joffrey are the ones who really start arguing. I don't know what starts it. I don't know why they're mad at each other, but probably because they're both really into Allison. But they just start arguing and going at it, and the date kind of starts to end there. So I go ahead and I end the date here pretty much. It never really got to an official date. But it does seem that Garrison and Joffrey arguing might have helped Cole in the long run. It seems that Cole and Dawn were able to at least form a friendship or a small connection. And so when I do separate them all, I get them all to leave. Cole and Dawn actually do end up staying and hanging out. I end up taking Garrison as he was the most angry, and I put him into the beachhead because I wanted him to get him separated. I didn't want him to actually get into any fights since today is a recoupling. They're all going to be reuniting. I didn't want the drama of having to kick someone out for fighting as well. So I went ahead and I separated him, and Cole and Dawn kind of met up a little bit later in the kitchen, and their friendship starts growing from there too. Would I consider it a romantic relationship? I guess slightly. As you'll see, it does get a little saucy coming up, but do I think they have a real connection? No. I feel like none of them really could get a real connection with Dawn. So yeah, while they're eating in the kitchen, things do start getting more romantic between Dawn and Cole as he starts giving her flowers to really kind of like ease his way in there. And then at the same time, Joffrey is outside with Allison, and they decide to go woohoo, and it just kind of turns into a big woohoo orgy party. I mean, they're going full Wicked Whims, Joffrey and Allison in the living room, and it doesn't take too long for Dawn to really like start liking Cole. And again, like, if she doesn't find a relationship tonight, she will be out of here. So it's kind of her last chance. And you can tell she's a bit desperate because immediately she goes into the bathroom and starts woohooing with him. And it just turns to a big woohoo fest. Everyone just starts going at it. So yeah, Garrison and Ava, I mean, they have already woohooed before, so I'm surprised they just end up sitting there staring at everyone. And Gwen, who is single and not really getting it off with anyone in the house, comes to join them, and they're just kind of talking in the middle of the hallway. Meanwhile, to their left, Dawn and Cole are hooking up in the bathroom, and then to their right, Joffrey and Allison are hooking up in the living room, and they're just kind of all trying to be as casual as possible. Like, they obviously know what's going on. They're obviously watching, but at the same time, they're kind of like acting like they're just, oh, we're doing sit-ups, we're just chit-chatting, we're just hanging out. It's really strange. And then eventually, I don't know why it took so long for them to join in, so they've already woohooed together. But eventually, Garrison and Ava do decide to get in on the fun, get in on the action, and they start woohooing in the living room with Joffrey and Allison. So now everyone in the house is woohooing, apart from Gwen. She's the lone single girl in the house now, just watching everything go down, along with the perv that's outside. I've mentioned how much I hate them, but one of the weird perverts is watching through the window, which I get. I mean, it is a view. Everyone in there is hooking up. So I feel bad for Gwen. I think this is a clear sign that tonight she probably will be leaving at the recoupling, because everyone else is really making connections. I personally wish people did do stuff like this more openly on Love Island. I hate how they're always trying to be discreet and like, I get it, like, you're on camera, but at the same time, like, you're entering the Love Island house, you're most likely DTF anyway, like, you're looking for love to begin with, you're already, like, a fame whore, just go for it, like, just go for it. It would make the show so much more entertaining. I hate how they're always trying to hide it. It's just like, everyone in the house, just go for it like this. It makes Love Island, like, that's what this show is for. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave this here. We're going to fast forward and we're going to go start the recoupling, okay? So tonight is the night that Casa Amor ends. We are going to have them all reunited. But first, we're going to have Hot Dogs come to Casa Amor and we're going to see which of these new girls are going home and if any of these guys are going to pick them over their original couple that's back in the villa. Alright, so this recoupling pretty much works like the other ones have worked before. There's just a small little twist to it. So we're going to have the boys come out one by one and pick which girl they want to be with. The only difference between that and normal is that they can pick a girl that's here at Casa Amor or one that's at the villa. It just depends on who their relationship is with the most. So whoever it is, that's they pick. It doesn't matter which house they're at. So the first person we're going to have come out is going to be Cole. Now, Cole did just get finished hooking up with Dawn, but again, it doesn't matter. We have to go ahead and look at the relationship statuses, and back in the villa, he was with Ilana, and it looks like his relationship with Ilana is a lot more developed than the one with Dawn is now. Therefore, he's not going to recouple with Dawn, and instead, he chooses to recouple with Ilana. The twist there being Alana potentially could have already recoupled at the villa and he's going to come back single. So we'll have to just wait and see if Alana is still there waiting for him. We will find out about that later on. But for right now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to have him sit down. We're going to move along to our next boy, which is going to be Garrison. Now, looking at Garrison's relationship statuses, I don't know if it's just because of time, that his other relationships have dwindled or what it is, but Ava, his most recent girl here in the villa, is the highest relationship he has, so he's going to go ahead and pick her, and which means Ava and Garrison are now an official couple, and they will be returning to the villa later on. But who knows, maybe one of the girls there is going to pick Garrison, and they're going to end up being single. We'll have to wait and find that out. But now we do have one official couple between Garrison and Ava, which means we have only one boy left to choose. So he's going to come out, and that's going to be, of course, Joffrey. Now, all of Joffrey's relationship statuses are fairly close, especially between Allison and Vivian. However, I do have to say that even though the friendship with Vivian is a little bit smaller, their romance is a lot higher. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have Joffrey pick Vivian, which means, unfortunately, all these girls, Allison, Dawn, and Gwen, you guys weren't chosen, therefore you will have to leave and you will not be going to the villa. So say goodbye to these three girls. What did you think of them? Are you disappointed that they didn't get chosen by the guys? Are you happy that the guys are going to pick people from the villa instead? What have you thought of the whole Casa Amor twist? And also, just as a reminder, you can download all of these Islanders on the gallery at Singleton RW, and you know, if Gwen or whoever you like didn't get to find love, maybe they can find love in your game. Who knows? But let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. We do have 2 single boys now and 1 in a relationship, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to send them over to the villa, and we're going to see what girls are waiting for them and how that recoupling is going to go. Alright, so we're back at the villa, and we're going to have our original 3 girls pick between these new guys and see if they decide on them or some of the boys that will be returning. And of course, the first girl that's going to go ahead and pick is our lovely, dramatic, buxom beauty, Alana. Alright, and then looking at her relationship statuses, she does have a lot of different ones. Some she's closer with on friends, some she's closer with on romance. She does have a connection with almost all the guys in the house, but surprisingly, her strongest one is with the new boy, Marcus. So she's going to go ahead and recouple with this new boy, Marcus. And it's interesting because he was actually single before, so he was able to not only beat out the rest of the guys that came in, but he was also able to beat out the OG boys as well, like Garrison and Joffrey and all of them. So that's pretty impressive. But that is going to be our new couple, Marcus and Alana. And we can go ahead and bring out our next girl, which is going to be Aurora. Of course, Alana's biggest competition. And again, this just proves that Aurora is Alana's biggest competition, because when we look at her relationship statuses, she barely has any love with anyone, even the ghost she hooked up with. The only real romance she has going on is with Alana's new match, Marcus. It's not as strong as Alana's is, and she wouldn't be able to pick him anyway, but she doesn't have any relationships with anyone, so she is actually going to be single. I'm not going to be getting rid of any of our original cast, just the people that came in during this Casa Amor twist. So this is actually one of the only times that being single at a recoupling ceremony isn't going to send her home. So we're just going to go ahead and have her sit down by herself, and she's going to be single for this week. And we're going to have our last girl come out, which is of course Vivian. But I'm not too surprised, as looking at her relationship statuses, the closest that she has with anyone is going to be Joffrey. They really hit it off on that one date, and they really built a really strong connection. So she's going to pick Joffrey over any of these new boys, which means that the 3 boys, Braylon, Clay, and Rick, I am sorry, but you guys are now single and are going to have to leave the villa as well. So we had 6 people leave the villa, and it's time to reunite everyone once again, and we're going to have our one big happy family all together in the villa one more time. So did you guys Are you guys bummed that Clay, Rick, or Braylon didn't get picked? Would you have picked any of them? Also, they are still available on the gallery as well, just like those girls. What did you guys think of the Casa Amor twist? It was really complicated. The episodes were really long and tiring, that's for sure. But I really liked it, and I'm really glad that all the boys are going to be reunited once again with these girls. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so first up is going to be Cole and his entrance. And as soon as he's walking out, I hear the dreaded, like, evil music playing. And this just goes with what I said earlier about outfits. I had all of them in these really cute outfits, but it's the middle of winter, and I keep having to change the time because I wanted to keep the recoupling at night around the fire pit. The sun keeps coming up, and when you like use the UI cheat to change the time, it just fast forwards really fast. So it took it as all of these people have been standing outside in like leather jackets all day. So all of them just start catching on fire. All those new boys that just went home are dying. Everyone in the whole lot is pretty much dying, and I'm like freaking out. Like right when I was getting happy about reuniting them all together, they all just start burning alive. And it's a complete disaster. I have to exit out of the game completely and redo it all. But we're good, okay? Everyone's brought back to life. Nothing bad happened. But that's just the struggles I'm having to go through with putting this series together. All right, but then looking at Cole's relationship status back at the recoupling. He has some with Dawn, who is now gone. That was a fun rhyme. And then the rest of it, he actually picked Alana over Dawn. However, Alana has already gone ahead and got with the new boy, Marcus. So Cole is now left single, just like Aurora. Thankfully, new people will be coming in next week, so they are able to stay. But it is sad that he now has to watch the girl he's into be with a whole new man he doesn't know. But let's go ahead. Let's bring out our second boy, Joffrey, and he's going to be reunited with Vivian, and they're going to make our second actual couple. So right now, our real couples are Alana and Marcus, and Joffrey and Vivian, with our singles Aurora and Cole. And of course, there was only one couple that was able to be formed at Casa Amor, and that was our last boy. It's going to be Garrison and Ava, who now gets to join the Villa House. So that they're going to be our three official couples, Garrison and Ava, Joffrey and Vivian, and Alana and Marcus. And then we have our two singles, Aurora and Cole, and that's all our Islanders. So everyone's now condensed. We have three couples, and one couple is like two singles put together. So we're back at 8, and what a week this has been. It's been really crazy. This has been the Casa Amor twist. Hopefully you guys have liked it. And remember that you can also download that Casa Amor house on the gallery as well at Singleton RW. I love these houses. I put so much time into them. And I personally think I like the Casa one a little bit more than the Villa. But that was it. That's so fun. I am so glad that we have them all reunited in the Villa. And we still have a whole couple weeks left of this series. We're not over yet. However, next week we are going to introduce our last newbies, okay? So we have 3 new Islanders coming on Monday in the new episode. And they're going to try to match up with our 2 singles or, you know, break a few other couples up in the process. Who really knows? But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to call it Supernatural Week. So the 3 newbies that are coming in are all going to be supernaturals. They're going to spice up the game a little bit more, and we're going to see how them being a supernatural affects their dating. You know, who knows? But I'm really excited for that. Stay tuned for next week. I hope you guys liked this episode. Let me know in the comments below what you think of our official couples. Who's your favorite? Are you sad to see anyone go home today? Let me know all of that below. I'm a really lonely wiener, and I need to know your feedback. I'm excited for next week, so make sure you stay tuned. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as you guys know. I love you all. Thanks for staying tuned and watching. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just rambling, so I'm going to end it here. Bye.